Okay, so welcome back. In this video we're going to talk about domains and ranges. Okay, so what is the domain of a function? The domain of a function is very simply all of the values, or excuse me, the set of all of the values that can go into a function, the possible values that can go into a function. That's the domain. Okay, now the range is the set of all values, oh, by the way, of the independent variable. So domain is the possible values that go into the function, which is the values of the independent variable. Okay, I forgot to mention that. Range, on the other hand, is the set of all possible resulting values that come out of the function that are values of the dependent variable. So remember, values that go into the function are values of the independent variable. Values that come out of the function are values of the dependent variable. So that's what we mean by domain and range. So for example, if I look at this function here, and we say, ask ourselves, okay, what values of x can I put in here? Are there any values of x that are what we call restricted? Which means that if I put that value in here, something's going to go wrong. And the answer is no. There are no values that I cannot put into x squared plus 2. Okay? So we would say that the domain is all real numbers. And since with these functions and we're assuming real numbers, okay? So the domain would be, say, all real numbers, or we would use the symbol, the bold-faced R. It means the same thing, the set of real numbers. Now what about the range? What are all of the possible values that will come out of this function? Okay? All the possible values of y. Well, let's think about it. If I put in 0, I'm going to get 0 and plus 2, which is 2. If I put in 1, I'm going to get 1 plus 2, which is 3. If I put in 4, I get 16 plus 2, which is 18. And so as x gets bigger, positive, I'm going to get a positive number. What about negative numbers? What happens if I put negative numbers in here? Well, if I put in negative 1, I get a positive 1 plus 2, which is 3. If I put in negative 4, I get a positive 16 again, plus 2, which is 18. So it seems like I will not get any negative numbers. There's no way to get a negative number out of this function, because every single number I put in here, it squares it, and all squared numbers are positive. So that means the range is all non-negative values, which means 0 and all positive values. So the range would be all values of y that are greater than or equal to 0. Or if we use the set builder notation, we write the range this way. The set of all y such that y is greater than or equal to 0. And that's the range. Or not 0, I'm sorry, 2. I'm thinking of x. 2. Right, because we got this plus 2. So it's going to be all values of x. Or actually, since we're dealing with functions here, f of x is greater than or equal to 2. Okay, we'll do another example. Take care.